Hi, I'm Kendall Miller. I am a bubbly business guy in tech. I live in Colorado, and I'm excited to be here. Potato, potato, potato,
That's
potato.
good.
Okay, go ahead.
Hi, Kendall.
Hi, Luke.
Thank you for joining us. What are we doing wrong?
Us, is that the royal we? What we're doing? Great, great stuff.
This is
What we're
going to be a
doing
long one,
wrong,
isn't it? This is going to take a
you
while.
know, what you're doing wrong is you're not having fun while you're doing it. And I think too many people are going about work not having fun. They just see it as another monotonous thing. They're not enjoying the code they're writing. They're not enjoying the people they're doing it with. They're not enjoying the planning. There's certain things at work that you got to stop and take very, very seriously. But the vast majority of it's just fucking four loops at the end of the day. Like, let's be honest, and it's not that exciting. And you can at least have some giggles in your comment code, in your PR comment, in everything. This morning, I was joking around with a guy in DM who I needed something from, and he wrote a very formal "Dear Mr. Miller, unfortunately, I'm unable to provide that for you," and on and on and on. Please ping Mr. So and so, somebody else in the company, and then he signed it lukewarm regards and his name, and just this little thing was like made me
Brighten your
giggle
day.
all morning.
Yeah. So
Right in my day,
you,
he could have just said, "Go ask that guy." Would have had the same effect, except it wouldn't have made me smile.
nice. So you're a relatively powerful and important person in certain ways in certain companies. There are probably people in most companies that you work with who are harder to fire than you are. Or no, easier to fire
Probably
than you are. You're
sometimes
probably harder to fire than
easier.
them.
No, there's a lot of people harder to fire than me. I'm
What I'm saying is it easy for you to say?
yes, absolutely. It's easy for me to say. It's easier for me to say than some people, but also I think even and not just even in particular in a position of power, showing that you're willing to let your guard down and have fun with people and enjoy people is an important part of it. There's certain people you can't joke with. There's certain people who will never be able to joke. I can't say I always know how to interact with those people the best, but like life is full of mundane details. When you're in line at the fast food restaurant and they ask for a name, they just stand there doing the same thing over and over again. And I'm not saying they're miserable. I'm saying life's kind of boring. And if you just put in a ridiculous name when you pick up your food, it brightens that person's day. And there's a million little opportunities to do that kind of thing at work. Most of the time, some people there's no brightening their day. Like
Yeah.
let's
What's
let's
your
just be real.
favorite fast food name? Is it Captain Alligator?
I most commonly use the name Dingbat, but I've been going for more and more obscure names like Rudolph Simpson. And when the person, like the barista, is announcing that, they're very confused. But usually they kind of laugh when I give them the name. And then if I can keep a straight face, they're like, "Oh, that's your name." Okay. And then they write it down and they're very calm. But it gives them a story to tell later.
You're like, my mother named me that.
I but there's those kinds of things happen all day long at work.
Mhm.
Uh, Performance reviews. I used to have a performance
This seems
review
like the
that
absolute right time for a powerful white man in a position of authority over other people should inject a bunch of
to
like unclear levity into that situation. Nothing bad can
to
happen.
be clear, I only do this in my like when I'm interacting with my boss.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't do this for other people's performance
Okay.
reviews. No, that is the wrong time to inject levity. Probably. There might be a situation where that works, but
Like, I've
I don't
almost
want to
never wanted to
encourage that.
fire you this year. Congratulations.
Yeah, please don't do that. There's a way to do this right, but like so in my performance reviews, there was a scale of 1 to 5, and I was like, I don't feel like I can give myself a 5 on anything if the scale's 1 to 5. So I added a 6 at the top of the paper and put in a fucking crushed it category, and then I could give myself fives in a few things and feel not bad about it. My boss never noticed, but that shit made me smile. And those kinds of things, there's just so many places at work. You can see when you are a user of the product, how much the people building the product enjoyed themselves while they were building it. Software that people delighted in while they were building it bleeds through to the user experience, and it's fun and it's delightful and you're going to enjoy it. and software that was built by a bunch of people stuck in a corner who were mad at each other, that comes through too.
Are you saying it's visible to the other people working on the product, or it's visible to the customer?
I'm saying it's visible to the customer. The end user can tell when software was built
With
with
love
delight.
and delight.
Yeah, I mean, there's a difference between love and delight. Like
Or
there's a
whimsy.
difference between functional teams and teams that are delighting and working together. A functional team can produce great software. A team that's having a blast produces great software, and
Can you give me some
that's the difference.
examples?
I mean, so think of anything at work. You go build a feature, and
I mean, I
you
don't, but I have people
enjoy
do that for me.
and people who do it. So you have somebody who's building a feature for you, and they enjoy, respect, and have fun with the people that they're working with, and they go show it to them. If you bring a feature and say, "Look what I built," and somebody else who's working with you is like, "That's amazing. Hey, I bet I can improve on it this way or this way. Check this out. Look what I did." And there can be that mood. But if you have here's my code. I hope nobody sees it because all we do is tear each other apart. Then the next person comes and merges their thing and really hopes it kind of works together. And it's not going to go through the same kind of testing. It's not going to have the same, when you bring a problem to somebody that you have a great working relationship with, enjoy, respect, and say, hey, would you look at this for me? You're going to get a different kind of feedback than when you bring a problem to somebody that you do not get along with. You don't want to hear their feedback. You don't, and that little thing happens over and over and over and over and over again at work, and it does bleed through in the product. You can produce software that works with shitty dysfunctional teams. You can produce good software with functional teams. It takes a team really enjoying themselves, having fun with one another, knowing when they can laugh about something, joke with somebody else to make great software. I firmly believe that. Not just software, that's everything in life.
I feel like I think about it other places. I think about it in restaurants. I think about it in television, whatever, and entertainment things and like media stuff. I've thought about it less in software. But certainly like which place would I rather work for? Yeah, like what kind of days do I want to have? Like how much time do you want to spend this week being happy? How much time do you want to spend being nervous, being anxious, being like head down, being functional and not enjoying your time? Like it's most of our awake time is doing the work. And I like my job. I would not do it for free. I do it for the money. If I didn't need the money, I wouldn't work. And I like my job a lot, but yeah, what if like how much of that time do I want to enjoy or not? So like I'm with you on that part. I haven't really thought about it in a software product context.
I think teams, so separate it from the software. Let's talk about the leadership team, right? You're all managing people. If you respect each other, have fun with each other, can joke with each other, can laugh with each other, you also can point out when the other person's fucking up. And you can press each other in a better, more honest, direct way because this person enjoys you enough to let their guard down around you. So now that they're bringing you a serious problem, it's time to shut up. It's time to be serious. It's time to listen to their feedback and figure out how to go solve this problem. So
because you built some underlying like trust and safety by not taking yourself seriously, that when you do take yourself seriously, it's not cataclysmic.
Right. And places that end up with toxic work cultures where people are not having fun, they don't trust each other, they don't listen to each other, they don't ask for the same kind of feedback. They're not running to their friends going, look what I did. They're hiding it. Yeah. And you end up with poorly documented APIs, you end up with poorly documented human interactions, you end up with poorly documented managerial relationships. It affects the entire organization up and down. If you work at a toxic place where nobody's having fun, you're doing it wrong. What you're producing isn't going to be as good. And please, for the love of all that is good, go have fun while you're doing that.
So as a leadership type, you go into a new place, you got a new job. How long does it take you to know, like, oh, this is one of those places, they're going to need some work here? How long do you think it takes you to inject some
levity?
Some levity?
It depends dramatically. I have been on both ends of the scale, but most people are in the in between. There's the teams that really enjoy working together, and it's clear from day one. It's clear from the first time the leadership team gets together. It's clear from the first interactions you have in Slack. And there's teams that everybody's terrified of the CEO, and they spend every waking moment not trying to get their work done, just trying to avoid getting in trouble from the boss. And hopefully you work at something that's in between those two. Well, no, hopefully you don't work in the latter. It's okay to work in the former. But it takes a little while. You have to find out who you can create levity with. You have to, usually it's on a phone call. It's hard to show up and be jokey McJokester in Slack and, have that received well. It's also probably easier if, you're in a position of power or you look like I look. I get all of those things affect how that works. But a team who is delighting in one another can create and foster that environment much, much quicker. Hey, welcome to so-and-so. I worked with a person whose very first message in Slack was a GIF of a door flying open and somebody walking in, like super smiley and happy and waving, and everybody in the whole company was like, "This person fits right in. This is amazing," and that set the tone for everything with that person.
Nice. What's one thing somebody can try if they are not a naturally whimsical, high levity sort of person? What's something somebody should try to see if they can break the ice a little bit in that area?
Not everybody's as bubbly as Kendall. That's true. I think that
I get that easiest... if everyone was more like you, they would be happier and better and more successful and better looking.
If everybody was just as happy as me, we'd all be happier. That's I believe that that's true. Probably.
I believe you're right.
I think I think most of it comes from vulnerability, and so start in a place where it's safe to be vulnerable on a call, not in Slack or in person. And with video on, it's easier than with video off. And, share a little bit about something that's going on with you. Talk about the, shitty evening you had last night with your kid, or talk about whatever it is. You sharing a little bit of yourself vulnerably helps you understand how people interact with you, who you can let your guard down with and who you can't. Because ultimately that's what it is letting your guard down and not having to put up a front, right? And the way you can create that for others is to do that yourself. Certain places are safer than others to do that. So start small if you need to. But
nice. And then lastly, say your name and who you are, where you're from, what you do. And I will copy and paste it to the front like a very professional edit.
What I do. Shit.
What?
That's
yeah.
Okay, wait. Tell me the list again.
Just say your name. Hi, I'm Kendall. I live in Colorado and I fuck shit up for a living. I don't know. Do an intro line.
Hi, I'm Kendall Miller. I am a bubbly business guy in tech. I live in Colorado, and I'm excited to be here.
Excellent. And one more little dance.